Welcome back to the deep dive. Usually when we open a file on this show, we're looking at a specific event, a crash, a trial, a scientific breakthrough.
Contained, yeah.
Exactly. But the stack of documents you've brought today, this feels less like a case study and more like a Greek tragedy that just happened to take place in West Hollywood.
It really does. It has all the classical elements.
You've got everything.
You have hubris, you have this intense sibling rivalry, and you have this fatal flaw, the obsession with appearance.
Right.
But instead of ancient Greece, we are looking at the intersection of a dusty dairy farm in Iowa and the hyper-curated, high-stakes world of Bel Air aesthetic medicine.
And it's not just a story about bad plastic surgery. I think that's the trap people fall into when they hear about cases like this.
Oh, absolutely.
They think it's just vanity gone wrong.
Yeah.
But looking at these notes on the Banks sisters, Billy and Mickey, this is actually a story about survival mechanisms.
Yes.
And really how trauma shapes ambition.
That is the perfect way to frame it. I mean, we are looking at two sisters who start in the exact same pressure cooker, Collins, Iowa, population 500.
500 people. Wow.
And they develop completely opposite strategies to survive their environment. One chooses the truth, no matter how harsh it is.
And the other?
The other chooses the lie, provided it looks beautiful.
And those two strategies eventually collide in a medical clinic that doesn't actually have a medical license.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we've got a lot to get through today. Fraud, family trauma, and a guy named Dr. Alexander Addison, who might be one of the most brazen con artists we've ever profiled.
He's certainly up there.
But we can't understand the crime without understanding the origin story. We have to go to the farm.
Right. Collins, Iowa. To understand Wilhelmina Billy Banks and Michaela Mickey Banks, you have to understand the isolation.
It's palpable in the notes.
We aren't talking about a cute hobby farm where you pet the goats on the weekend. This is a working dairy operation. It's grueling, it's smelly, and it is just unrelenting.
The environment acts as a crucible here. You have the father, Jim Banks. The sources describe him as a heavy drinker, very Old Testament in his worldview, and frankly, quite cruel.
That's putting it mildly.
Then you have the mother, Virginia. And reading through the background, Virginia feels like a ghost that haunts this whole story.
She is the pivot point. She's the what if. Virginia passed away when the girls were teenagers, but she left this massive imprint.
Oh, so.
She was the reader. She was the one hiding novels under the sink, you know. She instilled this idea in Billy specifically that education is everything.
Oh, what her mantra.
It was the only escape hatch she could offer her daughters.
Which brings us to Billy. When I was reading her profile, I just want to reach through the pages and give this kid a hug.
Oh, me too.
She's described as the outsider in her own home. Small, darker features, nose always in a biology textbook. And her father, he didn't just ignore her.
No, it was worse than that.
He seemed actively offended by her intelligence.
Because in Jim Banks' world, a daughter's value was tied to her utility on the farm or her marriageability within that small community.
And Billy offered neither.
Exactly. She wasn't strong enough to throw hay bales all day, and she intimidated the local boys with her vocabulary. She was, in his eyes, useless.
So she just retreats.
Entirely. Into her mind. She became an academic fortress. It was her only safe space.
Now contrast that with Michaela Mickey. Even the name sounds bubblier, lighter. The descriptions of her at age 14 are startling.
They are. Stunning. Looked 20 when she was 14. She's tall, blonde, the classic corn-fed beauty queen.
And the father, Jim, who ignores Billy.
He effectively worships Mickey.
He did. And this is where the psychological split really begins to calcify. Right?
This is the exact moment. Billy learns that to survive, she has to be competent. She has to work harder than everyone else, be smarter, get the grades.
Her value is in what she does.
Correct. Mickey learns that to survive, she just has to be. She learns that her appearance is a currency that buys her immunity from the father's rage. She can charm him. She can manipulate him.
And it starts early.
Very early.
There's a specific incident in the police reports and family notes from their teenage years. I'm calling it the truck incident.
The famous truck incident.
I highlighted this 3 times because it just stopped me cold. It feels like the diagnostic moment for everything that comes later. It's almost hard to believe a teenager could do this.
It really is the smoking gun for her personality structure. I mean, it tells you everything you need to know.
So set the scene for us.
Okay. Mickey is a teenager, maybe 16, and she wants to go to a dance in the next town over. Her father says no.
A normal teenager might sneak out, maybe catch a ride with a friend.
Right. But Mickey, She waits until her father passes out from drinking.
A regular occurrence, I gather.
A nightly ritual. She steals his truck keys and backs the truck out of the drive.
And in the process, in the dark, she runs over something.
It's not just something. She runs over the father's dog, his beloved dog. And you have to understand, this is likely the only living thing Jim Banks actually seems to love or show affection to.
And she kills it.
Kills it. Dead. Now, pause and think about the reaction of 99% of the population here.
You'd be paralyzed. You'd be crying, panicking, maybe waking the parents to confess.
Great.
The guilt would be consuming.
It would be. But Mickey, she gets out. She checks the bumper. She sees the dog is dead. She gets back in the truck, and she drives to the dance.
No.
Yes.
That level of compartmentalization is terrifying. It's reptilian.
It is. She goes to the dance, she dances, she flirts, probably has a great time, and she comes back, parks the truck, and goes to sleep.
And the next morning, this is the part that really defines the tragedy. When the father finds the dog, what does Mickey do?
She points the finger.
At Billy.
At Billy. She looks her father in the eye and says, I saw Billy moving the truck earlier.
And he believes her, despite Billy being the responsible one, the one with the grades, the one who follows the rules. He believes the liar because he wants to believe the liar. He wants to believe his perfect child is still perfect.
Exactly. And Billy takes the fall. She realizes in that moment that it is pointless to argue against the golden child. Her word means nothing.
But think about the lesson Mickey learned that morning.
Oh, it's a powerful one. She killed a living creature, stole a vehicle, lied about it, and suffered zero consequences.
In fact, she maintained her status.
That is a recipe for creating a sociopath. It teaches her that the truth is flexible and consequences are for other people.
So her moral code is formed right there. The truth doesn't matter. The narrative matters. If you can sell the story, you can get away with a murder, or at least canine slaughter.
And that's the code she lives by from that day forward.
So they both escape the farm eventually. Mickey drops out, gets her GED, and bolts to LA to model. The second she can, she's gone.
Correct. Billy does it the hard way.
The very hard way. She gets into MIT, she studies biology and chemistry, she grinds for 4 years, she graduates magna cum laude.
And the scene at her graduation is just... It's cinematic in its sadness. She's on stage, top of her class, and she's scanning the auditorium.
And no one is there.
No one.
Oh.
No Jim, no Mickey.
So she's completely alone.
She ends up going to lunch with a roommate's family because they felt sorry for her. And I think this is important because it explains why, a few months later, she makes a decision that seems illogical on the surface.
You mean moving to LA? Because that baffled me at first.
It baffles a lot of people.
You have this brilliant scientist. Why does she go back to the sister who tormented her? Why not stay in Boston, the hub of biotech?
Because the job market in Boston was frozen at the time. This was during a bit of a downturn. She was applying for research grants, lab positions, anything, but she was hitting walls.
So it was financial desperation.
It was financial, but it was also emotional. She was running out of money, yes, but deep down,
Right.
the isolation was breaking her. Even a toxic family is still family when you have literally no one else. She calls Mickey out of pure, raw desperation.
So she packs up her beat-up car, drives across the country, and lands in West Hollywood. And the reunion scene in the apartment. Talk about a study in contrasts.
It's not a warm sisterly embrace, that's for sure.
No.
It's visual storytelling at its best. Billy walks in with boxes of heavy textbooks, wearing worn-out sneakers. The apartment is kind of a dump.
A total dive.
Shabby furniture, questionable plumbing. The carpet probably hasn't been cleaned in a decade. But then she opens Mickey's closet.
And it's Narnia. But instead of a magical land, it's just Chanel, Prada, Gucci.
Rows of it. Just an explosion of luxury goods. And remember, Mickey is working as a waitress and a trade show model.
Which is basically standing next to a car or a blender at a convention center for hours in heels.
It's grueling work for not a lot of money, but every dime she makes goes onto her back.
It's the fake it till you make it ethos, but dialed up to 11. Billy is looking at this thinking, we can't pay the electric bill. Why do you have a $3,000 bag?
And Mickey's logic is essentially, I have the bag so that one day I can pay the electric bill.
Right. It's an investment.
To Mickey, the bag isn't an accessory, it's camouflage. It allows her to walk into rooms she doesn't belong in. It allows her to project success before she has attained it.
And that ability to walk into rooms she doesn't belong in is exactly how she meets Dr. Alexander Addison.
The medical Steve Jobs. That's how the notes describe his self-presentation.
That's the brand, yeah.
That's how he markets himself. He wears the black turtleneck, maybe a white lab coat thrown over the shoulders like a cape. He's charismatic, intense.
And he's opening this new facility in Bel Air called Bellissima.
Bellissima. It even sounds expensive.
And he's looking for an ambassador.
Not a receptionist,
Right.
not a nurse, an ambassador.
The language is so deliberate.
Right. He holds this casting call, basically a modeling audition. Mickey walks in. She's 19, but she has that hard, ageless look of someone who grew up too fast.
And Addison takes one look at her.
And hires her on the spot. But the job isn't just to smile and greet people. The job is to be the proof.
Okay, and this is where we cross the line from, let's say, aspirational marketing into straight-up fraud.
Oh, we pole vault over that line.
Let's break down the marketing scheme Addison cooks up, because it is diabolical in its simplicity.
It is. It's genius in a terrifying way. He takes a photo of Mickey, no makeup, harsh lighting. She's 19, so she still looks great, but...
But she looks like a normal 19-year-old.
Exactly. And he tells the photographer, age her. This was before Instagram filters, remember? This required high-end digital editing. They add wrinkles, they add sagging jowls, they add sunspots. They make her look like a tired 40-year-old woman.
And that fake digital photo becomes the before picture in his brochures.
And the real Mickey, fresh-faced and 19.
She's the after.
She is the walking, talking after picture.
It's so brazen. He's literally selling her youth, her biological age, as a medical result.
But he needs Mickey to play along. He needs her to be a co-conspirator.
So what's the script?
He tells her, from now on, you aren't 19, you're 33.
I'm 33 and you look this good because of my treatments.
That's the script. That's the lie she has to tell every single day to every single client. And this is the moment where Mickey could have said, no, that's crazy, that's legal.
But she doesn't.
She agrees instantly, without hesitation.
Why? Is it just the money? Or is it something deeper?
I think it's the validation. It's the truck incident all over again. Addison's the new father figure, and he's telling her, your lie is valuable to me. Your beauty is power. He validates her narcissism in a way no one else ever has.
And the money doesn't hurt.
Oh, the money is absurd. He starts buying her things immediately. Jewelry, clothes, a car is promised.
And think about the clientele this targets. It effectively preys on the deepest insecurity of his audience, right? The fear of aging.
Absolutely. If you see a woman who looks 19 but claims to be 33, and you're, say, a 45-year-old actress worried about your career, your brain effectively short-circuits.
You stop thinking critically.
You think, he has the magic potion. It bypasses logic because the desire for that result is so overwhelming. It's a psychological hack.
So she's deep in the illusion. She's living this lie every day, telling women, rich, insecure women, that she's found the fountain of youth.
She is the fountain of youth.
Meanwhile, Billy has found her own footing, but in a totally different world. She lands a job at Cedars-Sinai.
In the pathology lab, and this is crucial, the symbolism is perfect. Pathology is the study of disease. It's looking at slides under a microscope to find the absolute truth of what is happening in a body.
There's no spin.
There is no spinning a narrative under a microscope. It is unglamorous. She's a temp. She wears a lab coat that is for protection, not for fashion. But she loves it.
It feels safe to her. It's objective reality.
Exactly. And while she's finding stability there, she meets someone at the apartment complex pool who is the total antithesis of Alex Addison.
Enter Jason Bell.
The anchor.
I like Jason.
Yeah.
In a story full of plastic people, Jason feels like wooden brick. He's solid.
He is. He's a crime reporter for the LA Times. He comes from old money in Connecticut's stable, loving family, but he rejects that ease.
He wants to make it on his own merit.
Right. He drives a beat-up Jeep. He wears rumpled shirts. He deals in facts. He wants to move into politics eventually, but right now he's covering the grit of the city.
And he and Billy click immediately. It makes sense, right? They're both truth seekers.
They speak the same language.
She looks for truth under a microscope. He looks for it in public records. But I want to talk about the first time Jason meets Mickey.
Oh, this is a great scene.
Because usually, according to the notes, men fall all over Mickey. They lose their ability to speak. She has this magnetic effect.
Right. She walks into a room and sucks the air out of it.
Yeah.
But Jason, he meets her. She does her little hair flip routine. She tries to charm him. And he just stares at her. Later, he tells Billy, that girl has no soul.
Oof, no soul. That is a heavy assessment after one meeting.
He has a visceral, instinctive reaction to her.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, he's a reporter. He spends his days looking at criminals, at liars, at politicians who are spinning stories.
His radar is finely tuned.
His radar is tuned to detect inauthenticity. And Mickey Banks is a walking, talking fabrication. He sees the truck incident version of her immediately.
But Billy defends her. She says, "You don't know her. She's my sister." It's that loyalty again, that sense of duty.
It is, but that loyalty is about to be tested in the most extreme way possible.
Because while Jason and Billy are having taco nights and going to Dodgers games, building this very real, normal relationship.
Alex Addison is building a fortress in Bel Air, and he's filling it with secrets.
Let's talk about Bellissima. The source material describes it as having code locks on every door that change daily.
Daily. Think about the paranoia there. Staff aren't allowed in certain rooms. He tells everyone it's to protect his secret formulas.
Secret formulas. In the medical world, those two words are the biggest red flag you can possibly find.
It's a siren. It's a flashing red light. Real science relies on peer review. It relies on transparency. You publish your findings so others can test them.
Right.
If a doctor tells you he has a secret formula that no one else has, he's either a genius who missed his Nobel Prize, or he's injecting you with something that isn't approved by the FDA, and probably for good reason.
And in Addison's case, it definitely wasn't a Nobel Prize. We're going to take a deeper look at what exactly was in those syringes in a minute. But first, I want to set the scene for the collision. It's Christmas.
Right. The calm before the storm. Jason takes Billy home to Connecticut to meet his family.
And it's a Hallmark movie scene.
Totally. Snow, nice parents, a warm fire, no screaming, no drama, just normal.
And for Billy, this must have been like visiting another planet.
It's the first time she's seen what a functional family looks like. It highlights just how dark and twisted her world with Mickey really is. It gives her a taste of the normalcy she's been craving since she was a kid in Iowa.
But the bubble bursts the second they get back to L.A. Jason walks into the newsroom, and his editor, a guy named Joe McCarthy, drops a file on his desk.
And this isn't a fluff piece. This is a serious tip. It's 3 separate allegations from women who visited a clinic in Bel Air and left changed.
And not for the better.
Not for the better is a massive understatement.
The photos in the file are described as graphic. We aren't talking about a crooked nose or a bad brow lift.
No, we are talking about lumpy faces, distorted features, permanent disfigurement. One woman looks like she had a stroke. Her face is so asymmetrical.
And the name on the clinic door?
Dr. Alexander Addison IV.
Imagine that moment for Jason. Just the pit in your stomach.
Oh, it's awful. You're looking at evidence of grievous bodily harm, maybe even criminal assault, and the perpetrator is the guy sleeping with your girlfriend's sister.
The guy who is paying for the apartment your girlfriend lives in, technically.
It is the ultimate conflict of interest. He is in a terrible, terrible position. If he pursues this, he potentially destroys Billy's sister. If he buries it, he leaves a monster on the loose.
So what does he do?
This is where Jason's character shines. He doesn't bury it. He doesn't try to manage it himself. He takes the file and he goes straight to Billy.
He takes her to a deli. I love that detail.
Neutral ground.
Yeah. Loud, busy, public. And he lays it out. He shows her the pictures. He says, this is what Addison is doing. This is what Mickey is involved in.
And this is the moment Billy stops being the little sister who takes the fall for the dead dog. This is her turning point.
What happens?
She looks at the photos. She looks at the reality of the harm being done. The scientist in her takes over, the part of her that values truth above all else. And she tells Jason,
go get him.
Pretty much. She says if she's involved, she has to face the consequences.
That's a powerful pivot. She chooses the truth over the tribe.
She does.
Yeah.
And that green light is all Jason needs. It allows him to start the real digging. And what he finds isn't just malpractice, it's so much bigger than that.
Where does he start?
He starts with the most basic thing you would check. The Medical Board of California.
Okay. So he goes online, types in the name, Alexander Addison.
No record.
Nothing.
0. Which is weird. So he thinks, okay, maybe it's under a different spelling, or maybe he's licensed in Florida, where he claimed to practice before.
So he checks the Florida database.
He checks Florida, no record.
Okay, this is getting strange.
It's more than strange. It's a huge red flag. So then Jason thinks, okay, he claims to be Harvard educated. Maybe he has the degree, but somehow lost the license.
A disciplinary action or something.
Right. So he calls a contact he has at the Harvard Club in L.A., someone who can check the alumni database.
And this is the moment.
This is the smoking gun. There is no record of Alexander Addison IV ever attending Harvard. Not for undergrad, not for medical school, not even for a weekend seminar.
So the man isn't just a bad doctor.
He is a complete fraud. He is not a doctor at all.
He is practicing medicine without a license, using fake credentials.
Which means every time he sticks a needle in someone, it's not a medical procedure, it's battery. It's assault with a weapon.
Oh my God. The legal implications are staggering.
They are, and the psychological profile of someone who can do this is chilling. It requires a level of grandiosity and delusion that, frankly, matches what we saw in Mickey. They are two predators who found each other.
They're a perfect match.
A perfect storm.
But let's talk about the substances. The file Jason has mentions liquid silicone. Now, to the average listener, that might just sound like implants. But injecting liquid silicone directly into the face is a whole different ballgame, isn't it?
It is a nightmare. It is one of the most dangerous things you can do in aesthetic medicine, which is why it's completely illegal for that purpose in the U.S.
Why? What does it do?
Liquid silicone is often used in industrial applications, lubricants, insulation. When you inject it into the human body, the immune system goes into overdrive. It sees it as a foreign invader.
So it attacks it.
It surrounds the foreign material with scar tissue, forming hard lumps called granulomas. These can be permanently disfiguring. But worse, the silicone can migrate.
What do you mean, migrate?
It doesn't stay where you put it. It can move from the face down into the neck, into the chest, and if it hits a blood vessel...
It's in your bloodstream.
And it can cause an embolism. It can travel to the lungs, to the brain. It can kill you. It is a ticking time bomb inside your body.
And Addison was using this because...
It was cheap, it was permanent, and he could buy it from non-medical suppliers. He could charge thousands of dollars for a vial that cost him maybe $20.
So while Jason is uncovering this house of horrors, the walls are starting to close in on Alex from another direction. He starts getting registered letters at the clinic.
The victims are lawyering up. He receives these formal legal threats. One victim, the one disfigured by the silicone we just discussed, actually attempted suicide because the damage to her face was so severe.
That's horrifying.
She couldn't leave her house. Her life was destroyed.
And Alex's reaction to this is just pure panic and denial.
Classic narcissist playbook.
He doesn't call a lawyer. He doesn't try to settle. He locks the letters in a drawer in his desk.
It's a compartmentalization strategy, very similar to Mickey with the truck. As long as the letters are in the drawer, they aren't real, the problem doesn't exist.
But he just ignores it and hopes it goes away.
He focuses entirely on the expansion of the empire to distract himself from the criminal reality catching up to him.
And the empire's expanding. This is the crazy part. While all this is happening, business is booming.
Booming. He's getting investors from Korea. He's courting investors from Hong Kong. He's raising millions of dollars based on this fraudulent success in Bel Air.
It's turning into a Ponzi scheme of credibility.
That's a great way to put it. He uses the money from new investors to fund a lavish lifestyle. The Aston Martin, the private jets, which in turn convinces new investors that he is successful. It's a cycle of deception.
A snake eating its own tail.
He's running on fumes and other people's money.
And where is Mickey in all this? She is living with him now. She's the ambassador. She is holding patients' hands while Alex injects them with who knows what.
Right. She's right there in the room.
The big question is, does she know it's a scam?
That is the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? The text suggests she ignores the red flags. She is 19, yes, but she is street smart. She's not naive.
She knows she's lying about her age. She knows the before and after photos are fake.
She knows those things are lies. Does she know he has no medical license? Maybe not explicitly. But does she care to ask?
No.
No. Because asking the question might threaten the lifestyle.
It's willful blindness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long as the Ferrari is in the driveway and the Chanel is in the closet, she doesn't ask where the money comes from or what is in the syringe. She is complicit by way of apathy.
She's bought into the lifestyle so completely that she can't afford to see the truth.
She's a co-conspirator, whether she admits it to herself or not.
There's this scene where they go on a yacht trip that really illustrates their delusion. Alex is terrified of the legal threats, so what does he do? He doubles down on the luxury.
He charters a super yacht, a massive one. The name of the boat is the Marry Me.
I saw that, yeah.
And he charters it for $2 million, using investor money, of course.
Of course.
They flee to the Caribbean. It's absolute luxury, champagne, sex, sun. It's a bubble. He's trying to outrun the registered letters in his drawer.
And Mickey's just eating it up. She says something like, I want a boat like this.
She is completely intoxicated by it. She sees this as the finish line. This is what she escaped Iowa for.
And interestingly, despite the name of the boat, the Marry Me Alex decides not to propose.
Yeah, that's a telling detail. You'd think locking her down would be part of the plan to ensure spousal privilege or loyalty.
Right.
But he realizes that money is the stronger bond. He doesn't need to marry her to keep her quiet or loyal. He just needs to keep buying her things. He thinks he can buy his way out of the legal trouble, too. It's the arrogance of the sociopath.
So they return to LA on a private jet. They feel untouchable.
Completely. On top of the world.
They are preparing to meet these Chinese investors to go global with a line of beauty products. They have no idea that Jason Bell, the guy in the beat-up Jeep,
Has compiled a mountain of evidence. He has the victim stories, the photo evidence, the confirmation from Harvard, the licensing boards.
he has the whole story, and it's about to blow their world apart.
It is the collision of two worlds. The world of surface-level glamour and fraud versus the world of hard facts and accountability.
It's such a classic setup. You have the boring sister and the wholesome boyfriend holding the pin that is about to pop this $10 million bubble.
And it forces us to reflect on the nature of shortcuts, doesn't it? Mickey and Alex built everything on shortcuts. Fake photos, fake credentials, fake age, liquid silicone instead of surgery.
And Billy and Jason built their lives on the slow, hard work of study and investigation.
There's a moral to the story there for sure.
And when the crash comes, it's going to be absolute. We know from the source material that Jason publishes the story.
A front-page expose in the LA Times.
And then the dominoes fall. The medical board raids the clinic. The police get involved.
And the facade crumbles instantly. Once the Harvard lie is exposed, the investors pull out, the assets are frozen, the Ferrari gets repossessed, the lease on Bellissima is terminated.
And Alex and Mickey are left with nothing but the truth they tried so hard to avoid.
They're left standing in the rubble of their own lies.
So what does this all mean for us? Why should we care about a fake doctor in Bel Air from, a few years ago?
Because it exposes a vulnerability in all of us. We want to believe in the miracle. We want to believe that there is a secret formula that can stop time, that can make us beautiful forever.
The fountain of youth.
Exactly. And because of that desire, we sometimes bypass our skepticism. It shows that in a largely unregulated industry like wellness or beauty, the consumer is incredibly at risk.
We're all susceptible to a good story.
Especially if that story promises to fix our deepest insecurity.
It also highlights the danger of image as currency. Mickey's entire value proposition was her look. Alex's was his Harvard aura. Neither had substance.
Precisely. It's a cautionary tale about the difference between looking successful and being competent.
Wow.
We live in a world that increasingly values the former over the latter. This story reminds us of the danger of that shift.
When the illusion is more valuable than the reality.
Until the reality comes crashing down.
Here's a thought to leave you with. As Alex and Mickey land that jet, convinced they've won, think about the victims. Think about the women whose trust was betrayed in the most physical, permanent way. It reminds us that truth, no matter how much you try to dress it up or hide it in a drawer, eventually demands to be heard.
And usually, the louder the lie, the harder the crash.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'll see you next time.